Hey guys, welcome to Living in Denver, Colorado. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time. Today, we are going to cover the best suburbs to live in Colorado.
Welcome guys to Living in Denver, Colorado. We are the Mile High Property Brothers, Will Grimes and myself, Eli Schmidt.
I'm glad he said that himself, by the way, this time. Usually he makes me say my own name and it throws it off.
There you go, feels a little weird.
Welcome to the channel.
If it's your first time visiting the channel, guys, definitely make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, especially if you're thinking about moving to Denver.
Correct.
We have a ton of videos on different suburbs and different neighborhoods and pretty much everything there is to know.
You guys are actually calling us right now.
He is too cool for us. Is that who it is for real? Oh, what's up, guys? So speaking of which, just like we got a call right there should be a number at the bottom of your screen.
Correct.
Go ahead and give us a call, shoot us a text. It will ring Will's phone
Just like it did just now. We are licensed brokers, realtors in the
Yes.
state of Colorado. So if you guys have any personal needs or personal questions in regards to real estate specifically, we are more than excited to help. If we happen to be recording, this will happen.
I'm gonna grab this one right now.
Be right back. Back from our call, getting right to it. Today we're going to cover, like we said, best suburbs to live in Colorado. We love the south side of Denver metro area. Definitely phenomenal, a lot of pluses. But today, getting right to it, like I said, we're going to cover Southeast Aurora, we're going to cover Parker, and we're going to cover Highlands Ranch. There will be a couple of honorable mentions, Castle Rock, Colorado Springs. If you guys like those areas, if you're curious, we're actually going to do videos about those separately. That way you guys get plenty of detail a little bit further south in the Denver metro area. Definitely worth covering, but today, getting right into it, Southeast Aurora, Parker, Highlands Ranch, here we go.
All right, so starting off, we are actually in Southeast Aurora right now. We are at the Southland Shopping Center, and we've done another video specific to Aurora, so definitely make sure to check that out if you're curious about the individual neighborhoods within Aurora.
Correct.
But for now, my favorite part about Aurora is definitely the homes out here for families, the shopping, and the dining. Will lives in Aurora, so I'll let him take it from here.
I'm glad I'm at the bottom of his favorite list.
Oh, and
Jesus Christ,
and yeah, Will lives in Aurora.
Dude's in my
too.
house
That's my
every
favorite
day,
part.
drinking everything in my fridge, but I'm not at the top. Super great thing about Aurora, Cherry Creek School District 5, one of the top-rated school districts nationally. Definitely something to consider, especially with like COVID and other things that are going on currently in this world. You have a lot of homeschooling programs right now because not everybody is going back to school. So far, from what we've experienced with our daughter, who is enrolled in Cherry Creek schools, the home programs are going to be phenomenal this year. Still a lot of learning. So not only just what you can get at the school, but how adaptive are they in regards to stuff like COVID. Super important. We definitely feel good going into this school year and everything our daughter will be doing at home. So that's huge. Within a couple of miles, you have Aurora Reservoir. I'm sure you guys are looking at some B-roll right now as far as what Aurora Reservoir has to offer. You have paddle boats, you've got swimming areas, you've got trails to ride bikes or hike in, and they're starting to build what's called South Shore. That's been getting built the last 10 years. Just now getting to a place where you'd probably like to live there. They've got the pool and the rec center done. The neighborhood is getting huge, and they're building that around Aurora Reservoir. So if you like almost a lake shore feel to your neighborhood, definitely a plus, definitely something that you want to check out. And the other side, Southlands Mall, which is where we're standing today. You guys are probably going to start looking at some B-roll here, but plenty of restaurants from mom and pop shop to your national famous restaurants, a lot of outdoor walking. We've mentioned this in videos before. You get more sunny days here than Florida, so the outdoor experience, the outdoor malls are something that Colorado in general are starting to get involved with. People love it in the spring, fall, and summer. Even in the winter, it gets cold. You can still shop here. It's still open. But definitely spring, summer, and falls, great times, great atmospherics. And they do activities, to be specific, every Thursday night, spring and summer. I think they might do it in the fall.
Yeah, they do.
They do concerts here.
Yeah.
Obviously, post-COVID, they do concerts here. For activities for during the week for friends and family and all that good stuff. In the winter, they have an ice rink. So a lot of cool things that brings you to the mall other than just shopping.
Yeah, and I actually live in Parker. However, my family is coming out here on the weekends. We are hitting Aurora Reservoir. They have a beach. It is a really cool little getaway that is close to pretty much all the suburbs in Colorado. I mean, it's hard to find a beach in Colorado. Aurora has a great one. And then we come to Southlands for our shopping. If we're going to see a movie together as a family, we're coming to Southlands. We're hitting that ice rink in the winter, like he said. So even if you're not living in Aurora, it is definitely a place you're going to want to utilize with the family, regardless of where you live in Colorado.
Great spot. I chose it. We know the smart one here.
As far as housing and living goes, there's a lot of new builds out here in Aurora. There's new developments constantly going up. Like he mentioned, South Shore, they are still building a lot out there. For those home prices, you're looking from probably about 500. I mean, they go all the way up to $1 million down in South Shore, right?
Just over $1 million.
Yeah.
Right. But like your average or your median prices are going to be like those 550 to 650s. Highlands Ranch still has some areas that are getting built. Elkhorn Ranch, which is just southeast of that, is growing. Elkhorn Ranch, really cool. I think a lot of those lots come with like 4 acres per house, so some options there. But definitely still a newer development. But again, it's been around for the last decade. So when we say newer, there's still thousands of houses that are here. It's still super developed, but you still have that opportunity of moving into something that's already built or having something built for yourself. Definitely a lot of options.
That's right. And as always, plenty of townhomes and condos and lower priced single family homes if you guys aren't quite ready for that $1 million house yet.
Speak for yourself.
All right, guys.
Cool.
We'll see you where we head next.
Parker. All right, next up, number 2 on the stop, Parker.
Yep, my hometown. So
not his hometown, I mean, lives here. He's not from here.
That's true. Well, technically,
Live here.
I lived here about 20 years. Moved here about 20 years ago. That qualifies, right?
Qualifies.
I'm a native. Getting to it, guys. Parker, Colorado. We just came from Aurora. We jumped on 470. Drove about, 10 minutes maybe?
10, 12 minutes.
Over here to Parker. Drove south a little bit. And here we are right off of Main Street down at the park here. Right in the middle of Parker in kind of the downtown. And one of the lost my train of thought. Yeah, one of my favorite things about living in Parker, guys, is the relation of Parker to the surrounding areas. Now, Parker really has nothing to the south of it, nothing to the east of it. To the west, you've got Highlands Ranch. To the north, you've got Denver. To the northeast, you've got Aurora. But we're not surrounded, so you do feel like you're on the outskirts a little bit, and it is a smaller town. We're at about 55,000 people here in Parker compared to 375,000 in Aurora.
Right, and you've got like Franktown to the south of Parker.
Super small town,
Yep, so if you wanted some land or to space out even more so, venture down south just a couple of minutes and you've got some opportunities for that. Benefit here too, like Main Street is really cool. It looks like Old Town Parker, Main Street. You've got some barbershops. You've got Tailgate. You've got Parker Garage, so some bar and grills and some bars. You've got a local coffee shop just across the street. So kind of a cool little intimate feel through Main Street. You still have grocery stores and things like that. And then one cool thing is Parker Days every year. And that's where the park just gets consumed by.
And that goes right behind us.
Recreation for kiddos. One of your favorite things, right? Which is like a marketplace, or what do you call this thing?
Farmer's market.
Tents and like handmade stuff. And body odor, whatever you call it.
I used to work that farmer's market every weekend.
A lot of people like that stuff. I know the wine vineyards come out and do a lot of things for there. Definitely fun to get the kids out. And I think that's right. I can't remember what month that's in, but it's also when like Arapahoe County Fairgrounds are up. So when everybody's outside and kind of having some fun, Parker's one of the main spots to come into and enjoy. Definitely something to think about.
So we're going to show you guys some homes right now. So in Parker, you're not going to find a whole ton of new build developments. They do exist. I live in one right now, but they're just kind of few and far between. For the most part, Parker is developed and they are starting to build on the outskirts, but a lot of that pushes into southeast Aurora because they are so close.
Or just unincorporated Douglas County.
Yep. And also Parker, it is kind of unique because you do have some new builds, some homes that were primarily built in like 80s and 90s, but then also it's not unusual to find horse properties and acreages kind of interspersed throughout those single family homes. So if you're looking for kind of a small town, a little more country Colorado feel, Parker might be the place for you.
Small town that has grocery stores and access to 911. Let's not get too crazy, but it's definitely a good feel, and you can definitely, when you come through here, people are super nice. They take care of their properties. Not that others don't, but there's just some pride and some ownership when people are from Parker. There's a lot of pride to that. So you'll definitely feel that vibe if you guys decide to come visit, or if you choose to buy here. You'll definitely get a feel for that intimacy and that pride and that friendliness as you guys come through.
Absolutely. And as far as home prices, gosh, it ranges quite a bit, kind of like Aurora. I would say you're going to sit more around the $400,000 to $600,000 price point. That's going to be kind of your bread and butter single family homes. Again, they do have plenty of apartments and townhomes out here and $1 million acreages, but for the most part, you're going to be looking at $400,000 to $600,000 range. I think we're going to go check out some homes right now. So you guys can jump in the car with us, enjoy some of the B-roll of some of the neighborhoods that are around here.
Buckle up.
Let's go.
All right, guys, number 3 on the list, Highlands Ranch.
Okay, so we just came from Parker. We got on 470 and we headed west about 15-20 minutes, and that took us right here to Highlands Ranch. So Highlands Ranch is going to sit at the very bottom southwest corner of the Denver metro area. Still super close to 470, which is the main east-west thoroughfare through all these neighborhoods we've shown you today.
Dip directly south of Denver, you can still hit parts of Highlands Ranch just off of the highway, and then it starts to tuck back off into neighborhoods. School systems out here, still A's, still top of the list. One main school out here, high school-wise, is Christian Valor. I'm not sure if you guys are Bronco fans or if you know anything about football, but the McCaffrey sons went here. Christian McCaffrey, a great running back. Wish he played for Denver. He went to that school, but it almost looks like a college campus. Phenomenal school, private school. This area leans a little bit more to the conservative side. Super family friendly. We're actually sitting on a baseball field right now. I guess to just show you guys some of the parks and everything, but very consistent through Colorado, especially Denver Metro, and specifically the Highlands Ranch. Just all the parks and open space that you guys have to enjoy. And when you guys are looking at this, you'll find a lot of houses are built just to surround some of these parks and back up to it. Good atmospherics, family oriented, organic grocery stores, regular grocery stores, median house price.
Mid-fours median. However, if you're looking for something in, that's updated and in good condition, plan on spending $500 plus. We've got a listing coming up here later this month that's going to be listed right at about $500,000. It's a beautiful home. One of the other things to know about Highlands Ranch is, as far as a popularity, like if this were a popularity contest, Highlands Ranch would be at the top. As far as Colorado, everyone knows Highlands Ranch. It's considered a very desirable, I guess, more higher end, affluent sort of city. However, the home prices also kind of sit right where they do in Southeast Aurora as well as Parker. So there's not a huge difference. But for families moving out here, it's a very popular area.
A little bit more mature than Southeast Aurora. Highlands Ranch has been around for a long time. Aurora has been around for a long time, but specifically to the southeast portion of Aurora, so a little bit newer in comparison to Highlands Ranch. Some of the rec centers and neighbors here are just a little bit more developed. You can find yourself getting upwards around those 700 pluses in Highlands Ranch. There's a couple of neighborhoods that are tucked away. Super nice, so depending on what you're looking for, you can definitely find it and still access to those good spots.
One of the ones we're going to show you guys right after this, we're about to head that way and just do some drive-through, is Backcountry. Backcountry is a really cool spot in Highlands Ranch. Backcountry. Shout out to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
We can't stop here. This is Backcountry.
So Backcountry, it's very wooded. There's a lot of pine trees, a lot of hills. Similar to Talon's Reach and Aurora,
in Southeast Aurora,
it feels like you're in the mountains. And diving into food and nightlife, one of the things that I prefer Highlands Ranch over Parker. Parker doesn't have a whole lot of restaurants and good food options. Highlands Ranch has a ton of food. A lot of new shopping centers are still popping up all over the place, which means new restaurants and just some of the new trendy restaurants that are coming to Colorado. They're landing in Highlands Ranch because there is quite a bit of room.
Steakhouses,
on the southwest side,
brick fire pizza, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, all the cool trendy spots. So Highlands Ranch and Southeast Aurora win for the restaurants. Parker loses in that sense, you know, and then out here in Highlands Ranch.
But I think Parker, I mean, not to cut you off here. I think Parker specifically wants to stay a little bit more small and intimate, and it holds on to some of that culture and some of that tradition. And so if that's what you're looking for, could definitely be a good spot for you. These other areas that are expanding, just a different vibe. So still family friendly, definitely higher in the population, huge parks. Parker a little bit more personal, a little bit more intimate.
Yep, and we'll mention population. They sit just over 100,000 people, 105,000 to be specific, here in Aurora. So we're kind of sitting Highlands Ranch. So kind of sitting right between Parker and Aurora as far as population goes.
And Highlands Ranch is probably a great comparison to Southeast Aurora population-wise as well. I know when we were talking about Aurora, and we said population was in the 400,000s. When we're specific to Southeast Aurora, that population is going to be a lot lower, probably very similar to Highlands Ranch. So it's important that when you guys are looking at these videos and we're talking about best neighborhoods or best suburban, you know, areas to live in, Southeast Aurora and Aurora are different. There's a lot of difference between them. Can't quite count that population against Southeast Aurora. So don't think that Southeast Aurora is this huge city compared to Highlands Ranch. They're actually pretty similar when it comes to size.
But if you guys are looking for nice homes, a great place for your family, tons of parks, tons of trails, tons of new restaurants for a suburban neighborhood, great nightlife, Highlands Ranch might be good for you.
Right, and I think something that might be a deciding factor for you guys, because obviously you can tell that Southeast Aurora and Highlands Ranch have a lot of similarities, and you're like, why will we do something different? I think a lot of it's going to be dependent on where you work, right? So proximity to Denver, proximity to Denver Tech Center, or if you work on that west side and you're down towards Santa Fe, you might be leaning toward like that Highlands Ranch side. This is definitely a phenomenal spot, but we're west of I-25. We're down off of 470 a bit, definitely a little bit more southwest than Southeast Aurora. So depending on your commute or where you work or what you like to do, if you want to be closer to the mountains, Highlands Ranch might be a better spot for you. If you don't care about proximity and you like the homes in Southeast Aurora, school systems or might be a little bit better in Southeast Aurora per the grading system, but a lot of it, again, proximity to mountains or things that you guys want to do recreationally or your commute to work.
Yeah, and if you guys are going to be working in Denver, what's nice about the three places that we talked about today, we've got Denver that sits up north, then pretty much directly below that, a tad off to the east, you've got Parker, and then far east side you've got Southeast Aurora, far west side you've got Highlands Ranch. Connecting all three of those, though, is 470. So if you live, or if you're going to be working centrally in Denver, you're looking at a pretty similar commute. You're jumping on 470, you're hitting I-25 going up north. I mean, it's pretty much choose where you want to go. It's going to be close to the same for you.
All right, there you have it, the top 3 suburban areas to live in Colorado, more specifically to the Denver metro area. More to come if you guys have any questions on Colorado Springs or Castle Rock. Those are also phenomenal areas, and keep in mind we are going to do separate videos for those, just due to how far south they are. They kind of rate their own video, being that they're not as close to proximity-wise as Denver metro area. So stay tuned if you guys are curious about those locations. Definitely great choices. We will get to those soon.
And as always, guys, again, the Mile High Property Brothers. Our phone number is below. Feel free to call or text if you have any questions about moving here. Maybe you're out of state. Maybe you need to sell your house before you move here. Give us a call. We've got solutions to all those questions for you.
Subscribe. Like it if you like it. Subscribe if you find this valuable for yourself or for someone else. Please share. And if you guys have any questions, like I said, reach out. As much as we love making these videos, we love even more to help you guys out in your adventure. So
that's right.
Until next time, we will see you guys soon.
We might just hang out on this bench for a little bit. We're at a baseball diamond. It's like 80 degrees out.
Eli's used to sit and bench in baseball.
I got my honey here by my side.
Oh, that's such a sweet thing to say. Even though I'm like making fun of you. He was
afternoon.
Definitely the girlfriend wearing my jersey
nice.
for sure.
This is nice.
It's good.
I like this.
It's good.
All right, guys. I'm going to take a little nap. We'll see you next time,
See you
guys.
guys soon.
Thank you. Peace.